be a sponge, and then bring the juice.
By focusing on your improvement, by focusing on your progress, and eliminating any fixed mindset that you may have and acts of perfectionism, then you encourage your own mastery.
On some level, we do what we want to do 24 hours a day. Now, sometimes it may not seem like that, but if I'm choosing to work instead of sleep, what I'm actually saying is keeping my job is more important than sleeping.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of getting beat. What can I do to get over this hump? So mentally, that's when I kind of put that forefront, like, hey, it's either all or nothing.
I like to put failure in quotations because I don't believe that failure is true failure if you're looking at it with the right mindset.
The truth is, the journey to greatness is hard. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes focus, and every day you have to decide what you value, what you want to pursue, and what you want to achieve. And if you dig deep enough, if you push hard enough, we all have what it takes to be great. Welcome to the Edge of Greatness. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Dose. It is January 31st, last day of the first month of 2023. I hope you guys had a fantastic start to this year and you're rolling into February with some momentum for all the things and all the goals that you're trying to attack. Today, I'm going to dive into the fourth pillar of greatness and what I believe kind of gives you that laser-like focus, and that's purpose. I think if you look at anyone who's achieved greatness, who has high levels of success, they're driven. They're driven by a singular focus. They're driven by a overwhelming desire to accomplish one thing. And that purpose drives them through everything. The ups and downs, the hard decisions, the changing of directions, everything is still guided by this beacon that's calling them to go there. A lot of people say that we should follow our passion. And while I believe passion is important, I think if you follow passion and don't find purpose, you're still lost. Because your passions will evolve and change and go and do different things. And so if you're always just bouncing back and forth between the passions you have, you're going to end up finding that you don't really get anywhere. You make a little bit of progress for a while and you charge forward, and then all of a sudden that passion shifts and all that effort and all that time just is for nothing. I think deeper than the passion has to be the purpose. And if you have a purpose that's really calling you to do something, then when you start to put in the work, you create passion. You find a way to tie the passion that you have for a project to the purpose in your calling. There's a lot of times that passion is exciting. It draws us in. You know, when we get passionate about something, we really find ourselves consumed by it. But it's a short-term consumption. It's not a deeper calling. It doesn't give us meaning. It just gives us joy. And again, like I said, we need that joy. We need that passion. But if it's not tied to something more, it leads us astray. You know, in my book, I write about how passion is going to shift over time. It's us adjusting to the winds, right? When I was younger, I was very passionate about being an archaeologist. I will give you a second to laugh at that, because what? Really? Like an archaeologist? That was the thing I was passionate about? I loved dinosaurs. I wanted to be somebody who dug up dinosaur bones. I don't even know if they actually still dig up dinosaur bones. They probably just take pictures of the earth and find them. But that was my passion. I was passionate about dinosaurs. Then I got older and I became passionate about sports. And that passion, it evolved a little bit. And for a while it was basketball. For a while it was baseball. I went off to college and I was very passionate about baseball because that's what I went to do. But when that trajectory, that part of my career was over, I needed to figure out something more because that path of my passion was done. And that's when I found my calling, which is to serve, to help people, to coach, to mentor, to guide. And I can use that deeper purpose of wanting people to learn how to be great, that's serving. And I can find a passion within that, which is I love the podcast. I love writing. I'm very passionate about both of those things. I'm passionate about my family and teaching them the pillars that I've learned. So I'm tying a lot of my passions into my purpose, because that's the other thing with passion is you can have multiple passions. You can be passionate about a lot of things. But if you're passionate about too many things and you're not focused on a singular purpose of how to attack those passions, it becomes scattered. It becomes distracting. So as you're building your pillars, find that deeper why. Find that singular thing that drives you. I'm not saying you can only be going after one thing, but if you want to be great, your purpose needs to be focused. It has to have purpose. It can't be, I like this now. It's got to be more than that. And that's a really hard thing, especially in today's day and age. We are very easily distracted and sent chasing different things. But if we know ourselves, if we understand who we are, and we establish that deeper calling, then I think we can make small, minor adjustments to the passions that we're pursuing and still be driving toward a greater purpose. So figure out that purpose for you guys. And while you're on the way, keep reaching for the stars. Fall flat on your face. But remember, whenever we fall, always get up. Thank you for joining us today on the Edge of Greatness podcast. If you haven't yet, please take a minute now to subscribe and review our show. Join us again next week as we continue to dig deeper into the key components of greatness. The path to greatness is never linear, so remember to keep pursuing greatness no matter what. Keep stretching your abilities, reach for the stars, and fall flat on your face. But remember, no matter what happens, whenever we fall, always get up. Until next time, I'm Charles Schultz, and this was the Edge of Greatness podcast.